The coffee maker sputtered its last drops into my favorite mug, the chipped blue one Daniel gave me on Mother's Day 3 years ago, when I felt small arms wrap around my waist. I looked down to find my grandson Oliver pressed against me, his 5-year-old face buried in my cardigan. The kitchen smelled like hazelnut creamer and the banana bread cooling on the counter. But something in the way he held me made my chest tighten. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" I smoothed his sandy blonde hair, still, messy from sleep. He looked up at me with those impossibly serious gray eyes, my late husband's eyes, and pulled me down to his level. His breath was warm against my ear when he whispered, "Grandma, promise me something." "Anything, baby." "Promise you won't open the door for anyone today, anyone at all, not even if they say they know you." His voice cracked on the last word, and I felt him trembling. I pulled back to look at his face. Oliver wasn't a fearful child. He climbed trees, chased dogs, twice his size, never cried at the doctor's office. But right now, standing in my kitchen in his dinosaur pajamas, he looked absolutely terrified. "Oliver, what's going on? Did someone scare you?" "Just promise." His small hands gripped my sweater. "Please, Grandma Margaret, please." The way he said my name, so formal, so desperate, made something cold slide down my spine. What I didn't know that Tuesday morning was that my entire life was built on a lie. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, I would, discover a truth so devastating it would shatter everything I thought I knew about my own daughter. My name is Margaret. I'm 58 years old, a retired elementary school teacher living in Charleston, South Carolina. And until that moment, I believed my family loved me. I believed I was safe in the house I'd lived in for 32 years. I believed my daughter Jennifer wanted what was best for me. I was wrong about all of it. "I promise," I whispered back, wiping a tear from his cheek. "I won't open the door for anyone." He hugged me tighter, and I felt his whole body relax. "Thank you. Thank you, Grandma." Before I tell you what happened next, I need you to understand something about how YouTube works. The algorithm decides who gets to see the ending of this story based on one thing: engagement. If you're not subscribed, if you don't leave a comment telling me where you're watching from, YouTube assumes you're not interested and stops showing you the content. I've seen people spend hours searching for part 2 of stories they never got to finish. Don't let that be you. Subscribe right now. Comment your city below. Because what happens in the next 48 hours? You won't believe it even when I tell you. So let me take you back to where it all started. To the moment I should have seen the truth, but chose to look away instead. Oliver's mother, my daughter Jennifer, had dropped him off the night before for what she called a quick overnight stay. She'd been doing that more frequently lately, leaving him with me while she dealt with what she vaguely described as personal matters. I didn't mind. Oliver and I had always been close. After my husband Paul died 4 years ago, that little boy became my anchor. He'd spend weekends here, and we'd bake cookies, read books, work in my garden. But something had changed in the last few months. Jennifer had become distant, almost cold. She'd started making comments about my memory, questioning my decisions. "Mom, are you sure you turned off the stove? Mom, didn't I already tell you that story? Mom, maybe it's time we talked about assisted living." I'd brushed it off. I was 58, not 88. My mind was sharp. I still volunteered at the library, maintained my house, drove myself everywhere. But Jennifer's suggestions had grown more insistent, more urgent. And now Oliver was terrified of someone coming to my door. The morning crawled by. I kept glancing at Oliver, who sat unusually quiet in the living room, his action figures abandoned on the carpet. He kept looking at the front door like it might burst open at any moment. At noon, I made us grilled cheese sandwiches, his favorite, but he barely touched his. "Grandma," he said finally, "if someone knocks, you have to pretend you're not home. Even if they see you. Even if they know you're here." "Oliver, sweetheart, you're scaring me. What did you hear? What did your mother say?" His face crumpled. "I wasn't supposed to hear. I was supposed to be sleeping. But I heard Mommy on the phone in the hallway. She was talking to someone about papers, about a doctor, about getting you to open the door, and then..." He stopped, his lip trembling. "Then what, baby?" "Then making you go to sleep. She said something about a needle, about you not fighting if you were asleep." The words tumbled out in a rush, and then he started sobbing. "I don't want them to take you away, Grandma. I don't want you to go to sleep and never wake up." The room tilted. I gripped the edge of the table, feeling like I might be sick. My daughter, my only child. The little girl I'd raised, sacrificed everything for, loved unconditionally. She was planning something that involved doctors and needles and taking me away. "Oliver, listen to me." I knelt beside his chair, taking his small, damp face in my hands. "You did exactly the right thing telling me. You saved me by warning me. Do you understand? You're the bravest boy I know." He nodded, wiping his nose on his sleeve. "But what if they come anyway? Then I won't open the door. I promised you, remember?" At 2:47 p.m., my phone rang. Jennifer's number. My hand shook as I answered. "Hi, Mom." Her voice was bright, artificial. "How are you feeling today?" "Fine. Why wouldn't I be?" "Oh, no reason. Just checking. Listen, I'm going to swing by around 3 to pick up Oliver. I'll have a couple of people with me. They're just friends helping me move some furniture later. Don't be alarmed if you see a van." My blood turned to ice. "Actually, Jennifer, I think Oliver should stay another night. He's having such a good time." A pause. "Mom, that's not what we discussed. I need to get him. I'll be there at 3 sharp. Make sure you're ready." She hung up before I could respond. I looked at Oliver, who'd gone pale. "They're coming," he whispered. "Yes, but we're ready." I called my neighbor Patricia, a retired nurse who'd lived next door for 15 years. "Something's wrong," I told her. "Jennifer's acting strange. If you hear anything unusual, call 911. Then I locked every door, closed every curtain, and took Oliver upstairs to my bedroom, where we could see the street. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My own daughter. How had it come to this? At exactly 3 p.m., a white van pulled up in front of my house. Jennifer got out from the passenger side. 2 men in white polo shirts followed her. They looked clinical, professional, like medical transport workers. One carried a clipboard. The other had what looked like a medical bag. They walked up my front path like they owned it. Jennifer knocked, then rang the doorbell. "Mom, it's me. Open up." I stood frozen in my bedroom, Oliver's hand in mine. Downstairs, Jennifer knocked again, harder. "Mom, I know you're home. Your car's in the driveway. We need to talk to you. We're here to help." Help. The word made me want to scream. "Mom, if you don't open this door, we'll have to use the key." Her voice had lost its artificial sweetness. Now it was sharp, impatient. I didn't have time to wonder what key she meant. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? My name is Margaret Patterson. I live at 842 Willow Creek Drive. My daughter is at my door with 2 men claiming they're here to take me to a clinic. I never agreed to this. I think she's trying to have me forcibly hospitalized. The dispatcher's voice sharpened. "Ma'am, Are you in danger right now? I don't know. She says she has a key. She has men with her. One has what looks like medical equipment. Officers are on the way. Stay on the line with me. Do not open the door. Downstairs, I heard the unmistakable sound of a key sliding into the lock. Oliver squeezed my hand so hard it hurt. Grandma, he breathed. The front door opened. Mom? Jennifer's voice echoed through my house. My sanctuary, the place I'd raised her, the place where every wall held memories of birthday parties and Christmas mornings and homework at the kitchen table. Mom, we're coming in. Don't be difficult about this. Footsteps on my hardwood floors, multiple sets, moving through the living room. The police are coming, I said into the phone, loud enough for them to hear downstairs. I've called 911. Officers are on the way. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Then Jennifer's voice, cold as January. Mom, you're being ridiculous. We have legal documentation. Dr. Reynolds signed off on an involuntary psychiatric hold. You've been showing signs of dementia, making unsafe decisions. This is for your own good. I have no idea who Dr. Reynolds is. I've never been evaluated by any psychiatrist. Because you refuse to get help. You're delusional, Mom. You think everyone's out to get you. You see things that aren't there. Last week you told me Dad was in the kitchen making coffee. Dad's been dead for 4 years. My breath caught. I had said that, but as a figure of speech, a slip of the tongue while half asleep. It hadn't meant anything, but she'd documented it, used it against me. Ma'am, officers are 2 minutes away, the dispatcher said in my ear. Those 2 minutes felt like hours. Jennifer and the 2 men stayed downstairs, arguing in low voices. I caught fragments. Just take her. Not worth the legal trouble if police. My mother, I have rights. Then, finally, sirens. Beautiful, blessed sirens. The men in white left immediately, practically running to their van. Jennifer stayed, and when the police knocked, she opened my door with a smile like we were having a pleasant family visit. I came downstairs holding Oliver's hand. 2 officers stood in my living room. Officer Martinez, a woman maybe 40 with kind eyes, and Officer Chen, younger, already taking notes. Mrs. Patterson? Officer Martinez said. You called about an attempted forcible hospitalization? Yes, my daughter. I pointed at Jennifer, who stood by my couch with her arms crossed. Arrived with 2 men, claiming to have legal documentation to take me to a psychiatric facility. I never consented to any evaluation or treatment. Jennifer's laugh was sharp and bitter. Because you're not well, Mom. You're not thinking clearly. I have documentation from Dr. Reynolds. Can I see this documentation? Officer Martinez held out her hand. Jennifer's face went red. It's in my email. I can pull it up. Please do. 5 minutes of Jennifer frantically scrolling through her phone, then, I don't understand. It was here. He sent it to me. Officer Chen looked up from his notes. Ma'am, without proper legal documentation, a court order, a psychiatric hold signed by a licensed physician who has actually examined the patient, what you attempted here is illegal. You cannot forcibly remove someone from their home for psychiatric treatment without following proper legal channels. She's my mother. She's losing her mind. Someone has to help her. Then you file the appropriate paperwork with, the court. You have her evaluated by a licensed professional. You don't show up with 2 unlicensed individuals and try to physically remove her. Officer Martinez's voice was steel. Those men in the van, were they certified medical transport? Jennifer's silence was answer enough. Did they have any sedatives or medications with them? More silence. Oliver tugged on Officer Martinez's sleeve. My mommy said they would make Grandma go to sleep with a needle. I heard her on the phone. That's why I told Grandma not to open the door. Both officers looked at Oliver, then at Jennifer, then at me. Officer Martinez crouched down to Oliver's level. You're a very brave boy. You probably saved your grandmother today. Jennifer's face crumpled. Mom, please. I was trying to help. You're getting older. You live alone. You're vulnerable. I just wanted you somewhere safe. Somewhere you could control, I said quietly. Somewhere you could manage my affairs, my house, my savings. Her face went white. I would never. But we both knew the truth now, hanging in the air between us like smoke. The house I owned outright, worth $500,000 in Charleston's rising market. My pension, Paul's life insurance, my investments. All of it would have been Jennifer's to manage if I'd been declared mentally incompetent. Officer Martinez straightened. Mrs. Patterson, would you like to pursue charges? I looked at my daughter. At the woman who'd once been a little girl who believed I hung the moon. At the stranger who'd tried to have me drugged and kidnapped from my own home. No, I said finally. But I want a restraining order, and I want it documented that I'm of sound mind and did not consent to any of this. The next week was a blur of lawyers and medical evaluations. Dr. Sarah Wong, a psychiatrist I actually chose myself, examined me thoroughly and declared me cognitively intact with no signs of dementia or mental illness. I filed the restraining order. I changed my locks. I updated my will to ensure everything would be held in an irrevocable trust if anything happened to me, managed by my late husband's brother. And I fought for custody of Oliver. The hearing 3 months later felt like an out-of-body experience. Jennifer sat with her lawyer, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. Oliver sat with the court-appointed child advocate, occasionally glancing at me with those serious gray eyes. The evidence was damning. Phone records showing Jennifer had contacted multiple medical transport services, none of them licensed. Emails discussing my assets and long-term care facilities with suspiciously high monthly fees. Text messages to her boyfriend about being free once I was taken care of. And Oliver's testimony, delivered in a small, steady voice that broke my heart. My mommy said Grandma wouldn't know what was happening. She said Grandma would just go to sleep. The judge awarded me temporary custody. Jennifer got supervised. Visitation, contingent on completing a psychiatric evaluation, and a course on elder abuse. Oliver moved into my house officially that spring. We turned the guest room into his room, painted it blue, filled it with books and toys, hung glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. Some nights he still had nightmares about the men in white. Some nights I did too, but mostly we were happy. We baked on Sundays. We read before bed. We worked in the garden Paul had loved, planting tomatoes and marigolds. Oliver started first grade at the elementary school where I'd taught for 27 years, and my former colleagues doted on him. And every morning when I made coffee in my chipped blue mug, Oliver would hug me and whisper, "I love you, Grandma." "I love you too, sweetheart." "And you're safe now, right? Nobody's coming to take you away?" "Nobody. I promise. You made sure of that." 1 year after that terrible day, Jennifer showed up at supervised visitation, actually looking at her son, instead of through him. She'd completed her requirements, started therapy, ended the relationship with the boyfriend who'd pushed her toward financial desperation. She wasn't ready for unsupervised visits yet, maybe wouldn't be for a long time. But she hugged Oliver and told him she was sorry. And she looked at me with something like shame. "Mom," she said quietly, while Oliver played with building blocks in the corner of the visitation center. I don't have words for what I almost did." "Then don't try to find them yet," I said. "Just focus on being better." She nodded, tears sliding down her face. He saved you, you know. Oliver. He heard me when I thought he was asleep. He understood what I was planning when I didn't think a 5-year-old could understand something like that. And he chose you. He chose what was right. You taught him that, once upon a time. Did I? She looked at me with something like hope. Was I ever that person? The one who knew right from wrong? Yes. And maybe you can be again. I don't know if Jennifer and I will ever be okay. I don't know if the woman who tried to have me kidnapped can become someone I trust again. But I know that Oliver deserves a mother who's trying, and I know that people can change if they want to badly enough. Most of all, I know that sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. A 5-year-old boy whispered a warning, and I listened. That choice saved my freedom, maybe my life, and, definitely my future. Now Oliver's 7. He still remembers that day, though not as sharply. The nightmares are rare. He's thriving in school, making friends, learning piano. He wants to be a detective when he grows up. So I can protect people like I protected you, Grandma. Last week I was watering the garden when he ran up, breathless from playing with the neighbor's dog. Grandma. What is it, sweetheart? Nothing. I just wanted to check that you're really here, that you're okay. I set down the watering can and pulled him close, breathing in the smell of grass and boy sweat and sunshine. I'm here. I'm really here. And I'm more than okay. Because I am. Against all odds, despite my own daughter's betrayal, despite coming so close to losing everything, I'm genuinely happy. I have my home. I have my freedom. I have my grandson. I have a second chance at this whole messy, beautiful thing called life. And every single morning, I wake up grateful for a little boy who loved me, enough to warn me, brave enough to speak up, and wise enough to know that sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you are the ones you need protecting from. We don't get to choose our family, but we get to choose whether to listen when they show us who they really are. Oliver showed me the truth. Jennifer showed me the same, in her way. And I chose to survive.